So kinesics is going to be the topic that I will be explaining today, and how it helps us determine how we are able to communicate and connect with other types of communications in a non-verbal way. So for example, hands, expressions, gestures, or body languages. We will also be reviewing how the communication types overall highlights how kinesics explores non-verbal languages. With how non-verbal communication works, it is important to understand the different functions of kinesics. So, gestures and facial expressions are both non-verbally, but today right now, we're going to be talking about gestures. So it's a non-verbal communication that is a physical hand movement or body movement that is made to display different types of symbols, or can display different thoughts, like a hand wave. For example, when someone's saying hi to you, think of it's going to be a positive greeting. Something more difficult to understand is a gesture that could be sign language. Not everyone knows that, but it is a language that is learned through hand movements that are created by symbols that have permanent meaning. These two ideas are both nonverbal communication ideas but both introduce how the gestures are meant to communicate by the process of learning. Think about how a simple hand movement is way different than sign language. One is a greeting, a courtesy greeting, and the other is learned through ones that have a hearing disability. Facial expressions are another form of a nonverbal communication type. Facial expressions help explore how different expressions can convey emotions, thoughts, and recall a person's understanding at the time. It's easy to remember facial expressions when they're talking or when they're communicating something to you. So that's how it is more ideal to remember. I say that because facial expressions show the feeling in that moment that holds an important moment that is remembered because someone witnessed a simple facial expression. When communicating non-verbally, facial expressions are what holds a statement, and it's an easy way to describe key details of a person's face. This idea is important to understand how kinesics is defined to express differently than other nonverbal communication types. Another idea of kinesics is body language. How we understand body language is different to everyone, but overall it does highlight everyone's almost expression in that moment with body language. Body language refers to movements of the body non-verbally. Body language is an easier way to understand, to be able to cope with different concepts someone can be facing in that movement. For example, when speaking, body language can show if you're nervous. Meeting someone new as well. Body language can show if you're interested or disinterested. So it's important to highlight those types of feelings or thoughts or emotions that you could be facing during that time. So body language is important to consider to be able to read people non-verbally, and it is a great way that can be used through kinesics. Kinesics is a great example to use while communicating always, and it is always used. Overall, these examples of kinesics helps to show how they are all the same category of kinesics, just have different roles to help create a nonverbal communication. Think about how you are able to tell the difference between nonverbal communication and versus verbal communication. They both help everyone communicate, and surprisingly, nonverbal communication is what we use every day, as our mind processes so many different details when communicating with others. Overall, communication is key to help visualize and illustrate words, thoughts, emotions, and many other aspects of communication that is non-verbally. Kinesics is a part of how communication can be used with different types of responses, but more of retaining symbols and expressions to identify the types of kinesics non-verbally. Overall, nonverbal language is a great tool to understand kinesics visually. So thank you.